Okay, guys, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? Let's get that kind of lined up. I don't want this to feel blobby. I want it to feel more like a shelf. Let's make this feel like a little teeny tiny ledge kind of coming out here. There we go. And then we'll jump into posing that character here in just a second. Lots of different ways that you can go about this, but this is the right way. Just kidding. It's a super messy way, but it super works. Okay, we're gonna do something like that. And so since we have everything in a very low poly sort of state, everything is very rigid, which really goes to support the idea of rocks. Okay, so I mean there will be some things like this that I'm going to want to clean up. Okay, so just kind of smooth that out some. Just kind of crease that. Okay. So now this is what this is looking like. Okay. Super. Hey, Bill. How you doing? Yeah, no, so for my streams, I used to be on weekly, and then I kind of went to more of like an every other week sort of thing. And yeah, so right now, so far this month, I'm scheduled for the 31st for a solo stream, but then I've also got a really cool, so this is something it's still kind of in the works so far as organizing it. But yeah, we got another group stream coming up with a couple of friends. It'll be on the 27th, if I remember correctly. And that'll be I think like 5 to 8 LA time. Yeah, something like that. And then so that'll be with Ana Carolina and Pablo Munoz. So it's gonna be a blast. I'm really looking forward to being able to stream with these two. For those of you who have seen it before, you might have seen me stream with Ana Carolina and Ashley Adams, and that was a lot of fun. What we're planning on doing And I guess, see this, okay. Yeah, so we're planning on doing this little stream coming up here in a couple of weeks. That'll be a Tuesday night. It should be a lot of fun. Okay, if any of you watch their streams, you'll know how insanely talented they are. Okay, Pablo is from Australia, or he's streaming out of Australia. And he streams. He's the one that's responsible for organizing ZBrush guides. Okay, really phenomenal resource. So if you don't get his emails or download his documents and read through them, that's another great opportunity for self-taught learning. That's kind of all right. Smooth that out a little bit, and then we're going to go back in and we're going to try to kind of emphasize this crack here a little bit. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on. Thanks, Spear Chuck. We don't have a ton of time left, so let's leave the rock work where it is for now, and we'll come back to it next time. But I want to do this, kind of pull that out. Okay guys, has everybody seen Endgame? Because I just bought it this past week and I watched it and it's got me balling, dude. It's got me balling. I'm not crying, you're crying. It's like I already miss Mr. Stark. Ugh. I can't handle it. It's like, what does that say about our culture when we like... Well, it's okay. I mean, like, honestly, people cry over their book characters dying too. I can cry over a movie character dying. He's a comic book character, a book character, and he died in the most heroic way possible. I can't. I just can't. Oh my gosh. Gotta get through this. Okay. Got a half hour. Thor was the best thing? You thought Thor was the best thing? Oh my gosh. Thor was funny. Yeah. I'll take the big one, you take the middle one. I thought that was powerful. So many powerful things. So many powerful things. Okay. Okay. Leave it. Leave it, Steven. Leave it. Leave it. Just leave it. Just stop playing with this. Okay. Time to go on to the character. Okay. We're good. Okay. We're good. We're good. Okay. Save it. You gotta go into the right folder, hit save, replace it yes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, that was tremendous. I mean, that was just too much. It was too much. It was too much, guys. I couldn't handle it. Okay. Anyway, so let's come over here. Okay, so here's like the standard neutral. And there's the file, the smile file. So it kind of goes back and forth between, you know, neutral and excited. So the idea next time possibly is to go through and do I'm gonna say Charby expression 2. I'll know what that means. By the way, if you guys are interested, I am selling digital files for my desk pets now. Okay, so you see here's my shark. This is one that I printed for a friend. I'll just hold it up like that. Vroom, vroom, vroom. And then he comes with like this little ice cream shout bubble. So yeah, if you want to go through and find print files and things like that, you can go to my website. You see it over there in the middle on the bottom, and you can buy the STLs and print them out yourself. A lot of fun, a lot of fun. Oh, I got my hippo too. It's one that I went through and painted this past week, trying to learn how to hold things in front of a camera. Just kidding. How to paint. It's a ton of fun. It's really fun. But yeah, so these are called desk pets. So you can go through, you can buy the file, and you can print it out yourself and put it around your on your desk, at work, at home, you know, whatever, however you want to go about it. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Okay, I see. So what I want to do is we have the face. Okay, we're just gonna have this selected. We're gonna come in. We want to take the whole folder over. Z plugin, not transpose master, subtool master, copy folder, and we gotta go over to here, and we're gonna go Z plugin, paste folder. Okay, so now there are extra pieces in this folder that I don't need. So let's come over here. Let's find. I don't need this. Okay, so delete. Always okay. Delete. I don't need this extra mouth parts. I don't need these extra eyebrows. The hat, maybe it could stay. Let's get rid of the hats. We can pull them in later if we need other hats or whatever. Delete that because that's extra, and now we're good to go. All right. Okay, this guy's going to be posed on this dragon. and I'm trying to decide if he's too small, it needs to be upsized. Let's do something like that. I think that'll work. Whoops. Let's say turn off symmetry and all these things. Here, let's do this. Let's go to transform. That way we can just go down the list. Oh, turn off symmetry for that. Okay. Let's turn this back on now. And first things first, I'm just going to go ahead and start pulling him over and putting him in position. I want him to feel like he's like aggressively like leading the dragon on. Not like aggressive, like I don't want him to feel like he's being cruel, but I want him to feel like he's in pursuit of the man with the fish. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by positioning him. I want to position his torso first. This will help it so that everything else is kind of in the general direction that I want him to be in. To me, it just makes it a lot easier to go through and position everything, and sculpt everything else into position. Okay, so let's do this, and then pull him down. We'll probably make him so that he's it's like he's got his knees in, like he's kneeling on the back of the dragon. I might make some sort of harness on there or something. I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet. Yeah, so there's that so far. Now what I want to do, this is the tricky part. There we go. I don't believe that man's ever been to medical school. Let's do this. One of the things you can do is with the select lasso, if you control shift and click on an edge, it'll hide an edge loop. And since I want to be able to mask everything up to a certain point, it makes it really, really nice. Okay, cool. Okay, turn on this bad boy here, and we gotta go through and we gotta do this, and then we gotta do this. Okay, so I want to make sure I only have the things selected that I want to affect. Okay, so now we want to go ahead and we want to turn his head, which that'll be tricky. When I post things, I try to make sure that I get my gizmo going in the right direction. Ooh, that's already looking cool. something like that, maybe. And I'm not gonna lie, will I pose it with Transpose Master? I can. I'm not sure that I will. When did I start doing modeling stuff? I started doing modeling stuff in 2006, but I didn't like Blender, so it was a good thing I started learning Maya. Blender's gotten better since then, but whatever. Anyway, so let's turn on our other character just to make sure that we have him looking in the right direction. But yeah, and then what motivated me to be a pro modeler? That's a good question. I ask myself the same question sometimes. It's for me, there was a lot of, so like in high school, I wanted to be a marine biologist, which is completely not even related at all to what I'm doing now. Which is fine. Let's say delete lower, modify topology, delete hidden. And so one of the things that let's see, close, convex hole, resolution 3. And then polygroup flat. But one of the things that happened is a friend of mine invited me to take a class with him at our high school. That was, oh shoot. I had no idea those were the same polygroup. That's funny. He invited me to take the 3D modeling class with me, with him, and a 3D animation class rather. And it boggled my mind that was even a possibility, for one. But it was cool. I really liked it, and so I decided to kind of pursue it more. I actually do have an Instagram. If you look over in the middle of the screen along the bottom, you'll see my website, and that'll have links to everything. You know what? I forgot that that's not what I wanted to do. But yeah, so essentially what I did is I discovered that BYU had a really super stellar animation program. It's one of the top in the world. And so I decided to go to BYU and to learn 3D animation and to get really good at it. And yeah, I kind of did. So what I was able to do is I was able to figure out, okay, I like doing this, I don't like doing this. I was able to experiment with all sorts of different little technologies and and keep going. I can't even think. It's like I'm too focused on like rushing and not focusing on the people. I discovered 3D modeling. I discovered that I really like it. It is hard, and I really feel like I kind of liked that. I liked that it was a challenge. I'm gonna flip that around. That might be the best way to get the look and the shape that I'm looking for as quickly as possible. But yeah, I mean, this is absolutely just everything that I've loved doing. Delete lower. Which one was I looking for? I was looking for bend curve. You know what? We're gonna undo this. Let's say can't delete. Put this up here. Go back to this. Now I can use bend curve, and that'll work much better for me. Okay, what's cool is you can grab these and you can twist them and scale them, and I might just leave that kind of where it is for now. Just kind of reposition it. That'll make it a little simpler. The nice thing about this tool is that it gives me an opportunity to think composition and to think flow and motion and all of that. And then as you want to, you can add more resolution to your curve, and it just makes the process really, really nice. Let me see, where's there it is. Accept. Whew. Okay, let's see. Can you test someone who's starting in animation which software to use? whatever part of the industry that you're wanting to go into, find out what is the standard. Maya is always a safe bet. Everybody uses Maya. Actually, let's just keep that. So you're not going to go wrong if you start learning Maya. It's not something that's going to be irrelevant too soon, and it won't be a waste of your time in any way, shape, or form. There are a lot of people that will go through and that they'll vouch for Blender. It's a great tool. I don't use it because I don't like it, and it's not what I use for work. So yeah, it's just not industry standard for us here in the States. ZBrush is very industry standard in a lot of different industries, from everything from I mean, I use it at Disney. I use it for rapid prototyping, for toys, for theme park rides. I use it for characters and for all sorts of things. So ZBrush is a really good one for you to learn, to play with, and to experiment with. If you're going into texturing, you're going to want to learn things like Substance Painter and possibly Mari. Mari is really expensive, and it's only used at a very handful of places, like a very small handful of places. So it's not a huge deal if you can't learn Mari. But yeah, it's a really nice tool. Substance Painter, Substance Designer, all the algorithmic tools are extremely helpful. Oops, not that. What else? Adobe stuff, Photoshop. Depending on what you're going to want to do, you might learn Illustrator, After Effects. After Effects is good for video. So like I use After Effects for my demo reel, or other things. But yeah, animation wise, like if you're wanting to get into animation, if you're wanting to do 2D, you look into things like Toon Boom, or what's the other one that people have been using lately? It seems like there are another like one or two programs that have become pretty standard for 2D animation. I used to use Flash when that was a thing. It's not really a thing anymore. I think it's been completely like disbanded. But yeah, so that's kind of funny. Anyway, but for 3D animation, I'm pretty sure that all people use, if it's not proprietary, if it's not specific to the company that they're working for, it's Maya. If you're outside of the US, and I mean, you could still learn things like Blender. Blender is free. They do have animation tools, and the principles are very applicable. But yeah, wanting to get into VFX, currently learning Cinema 4D and Houdini. Yeah, there are definitely tons of jobs for people going into commercials, VFX, and whatnot. Psyop, PSYOP. That's a great company to look into if you're wanting to try to get into like commercials and Cinema 4D and things like that. I'm pretty sure that's in huge part what they deal in is Cinema 4D, Maya, I mean, it's been a while since I've looked at job postings from them. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they do. Cinema 4D and Maya, and some Adobe stuff. Okay, so make sure you got those sorts of things going on. Yeah, so I design theme park rides. I design all sorts of stuff. I just worked on some stuff for the Disneyland Tokyo Park extension. I'm still working on some stuff with them and whatnot, and it's an absolute blast. I love my job. But yeah, definitely not your run-of-the-mill job that everybody thinks about is theme parks and those sorts of things. It's like they have to be made, you know, and yeah, in large part there are engineers that are working on those things, but there are also a lot of artists that are working on the aesthetic side of things. The engineers will go through and make it work, and the creatives will make it look pretty. So it's really, really nice. So Houdini is very pertinent. It's a very good tool for a lot of things, like for VFX, for procedural modeling. Like if you wanted to populate a surface with like if you wanted to populate a log with mushrooms, or if you wanted to that type of thing. I'm sure there's more you can do with it. It's been years since I've been in Houdini, but Houdini is great, but it will not replace everything else. It's a supplemental tool. It's a more specialized tool. So yeah, I wouldn't go through and worry that like by learning Houdini, you're not neglecting you're not going to it's not going to be a bad tool to learn. It's going to be a really good tool to learn. In fact, that's something that I want to learn. Trying to figure out, my brain is not functioning today. But yeah, so great tool to learn, but no, it's not going to replace other modeling applications. It's more just a matter of getting the supplemental tools that you need to be able to do your job. So yeah. Where can we go to follow more of my work? So if you want to be able to follow my work, there's my website right there in the center on the bottom. Let me post a link. Or you can also go to instagram.com/smartist. SMAARTIST. I can't tell if that's working or not. It looks like it's not working. But yeah. how did I end up being able to design rides at Disneyland? Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do, like I was talking about before, with networking. Networking is a huge part of your success as an artist. And I came across that job because I was working at DreamWorks, but then they didn't have any more projects for me after I was working on How to Train Your Dragon, and so I got let go, and but then somebody contacted a friend of mine over at DreamWorks asking if they knew any modelers that could use ZBrush and things like that, and of course he brought up my name and everything, and it was super cool. So I went ahead and interviewed with them, and that was like March of last year, right? March of last year, and oh, come on, stop doing that. And then interviewed with them, and then in September is when I actually got to start working for Disney, which has been a ride in and of itself. But yeah, super cool. It's a great job. What you need? I think it's in the bathroom. I think so. It's the bottle with like the squirt top, right, or whatnot, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That one, right? I still have a minute. Yeah, it's about time for me to head on out. Let's see if we can get